Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Allen. Thank you for being with us this evening. We begin right now with 2020 presidential hopeful and former Vice President Joe Biden, whom we caught up with on a recent campaign swing through Northwest Iowa. And he had health care on his mind.
We must win this election in 2020. We must beat Donald Trump.
Joe Biden has been spending a lot of time campaigning in Iowa, hoping to shore up grassroots support ahead of that all-important Iowa caucus in early February. When we caught up with him, he was talking about a series of recent tweets by the president against 4 female members of Congress in which he urged them, all people of color, to go back to where they came from if they don't like his administration's policies. Biden was asked why there wasn't more of an outcry from the Republican Party where those tweets were concerned.
It's lost its nerve. I mean, this is not, I don't believe that the vast majority of Republicans are in the Congress feel this way, but right now he owns the Republican Party. And one of the things I found, even in the last years of our administration, that when you speak to Republicans and say, what are you doing that for? People you know, they say, well, if I take them on, you know, the Koch brothers will drop $6-8 million in my race, or I'll be primaried. You notice most Republicans get beat, except in 2018, from the right, not from the left.
And on a follow-up question, a very brief but very pointed response from the former VP.
The president said he doesn't have a racist bone in his body. Do you agree?
It means he has no bones.
From those presidential tweets, the discussion turned to health care policy in the U.S. and a growing disagreement between Biden and Democratic challenger Kamala Harris. Harris is one of a handful of candidates who support a Medicare for All program for health care, meaning it would be in the hands of the federal government. Biden says he wants to keep the Affordable Care Act in place, often referred to as Obamacare, but with tweaks to make it more efficient and provide a system where the government is part of the solution, but not the gatekeeper where health care is concerned.
If you go Medicare for All, there is no private insurance, period. No matter what system you're in, no matter who your doctors are or aren't, there's no private insurance. If you like your private insurance, if you like your employer-based insurance, you can keep it. You don't have to get in any other plan. But if there's some aspect of it you don't like and you'd rather get in the Medicare proposal that I add to the Obama Plus plan here, then you could do that too. But the vast majority of people are happy with their, and that's why there's such an uproar. That's why you see a lot of Democrats going, well, I'm not going to take away your private plan. I'm not going to take away your employer-based plan. The truth is, it takes it away.
This next week, Biden will be back on stage for a second round of debates, facing off against 9 other candidates on one night, while another 10 will debate a second night. He says he is not going to call for any candidates to drop out of the race, but does say he is looking forward to a time when the Democratic candidate pool is smaller, so there can be what he calls real debate and discussion. When asked about the basis of his campaign plan, Biden says he doesn't believe he will be able to win over many Republican voters next year, but he says he believes he can win back voters who went with Barack Obama in 2012, but opted for Donald Trump in 2016 because they believed some kind of change was needed.
What I'm going to get back, I believe, is all those voters who moved from the Democratic column to vote for Trump. And I think they figured out who he is. They know who he is. They have no. Look, do you know anybody who's a Trump supporter that's going out and leading off by vouching for his character? Find me one.
And Biden says his campaign can not only be about the idea of beating Donald Trump. He says he also needs to tell voters clearly what he will do if he goes to the White House, the priorities and the policies he is ready to focus on should he be the party nominee and win election in a little more than 15 months from now.
This is about, choosing the person you think is best qualified at the moment, not only to beat Donald Trump, which is an existential concern of everyone in the Democratic Party and beyond, but also who's better prepared the day they get elected to stand on the world stage and begin to do business internationally and nationally. And so I may not be the person, but I think I'm best prepared to do that.
Joe Biden is in the second pool of Democratic presidential candidates who will be debating this coming week. He is set to take the stage this coming Wednesday night with 9 other candidates, among them New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, and California Senator Kamala Harris.